whack that. Taking a bit of line. And Dan just said, this is getting into the good area. And almost straight away, I'm just wrapped, mate. Here we go, still got a bit left in him.
How's the heart going, mate?
Mate, it's going. It's just on first light this morning. It's already beautiful and warm, and we are at Kinchant Dam. Now, boys, where actually is Kinchant Dam?
Kinchant Dam, sort of just inland from Mackay, probably half an hour, 3/4 of an hour.
All right, and most people know the name Peter Faust Dam or Proserpine.
Yep, they do.
We are south of there, aren't we?
Yep, that's it.
Beautiful, and obviously the target is big impoundment barramundi.
Big barra amongst the weeds, this sort of stuff. Awesome fun.
Beautiful. It's a very impressive looking joint. It's a lot different to other lakes I've seen up here. It's got a lot of low-lying ground around it, and best of all, you don't have to go far to fish for barramundi. We are literally a couple of 100 metres from the boat ramp, and we're in chance of catching fish well over 1 metre in length.
Yep.
Oh, nice one.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well done, mate.
He's cake hold that.
He's coming around now, mate.
He wants to make friends with those lily pads, mate.
He does want to make friends with those lily pads. Just drive out there a bit now, Grechy. Just leading that way.
Try and get you around the other side of this pads.
It's not a bad fish.
Hey, he's a nice fish.
He's eating that good. Just come up the front again, boys.
It's exactly what you want. That fish bolted straight back in there. And then Johnny's just used side pressure and angled him back out and dragged him back out into some deeper water.
Yeah, that lure's come out a little bit.
Has it?
Out of his mouth, yeah.
Last thing you ever want to do with a barramundi is rush the net shot. You've got too many big hooks that can get caught up in the net.
Beautiful. Good fish.
Well done, mate. That's got some weight to it.
Well done, buddy.
Nailed it. Get him out of that net, eh?
Look at that.
He's a nice looking fish. Bit of condition to him.
Yeah, I'll
He's
say.
nailed that lure.
I mean, they look so different because they're dark in colour, but I reckon they just look great out of this water.
Yeah, I reckon too, eh? That camouflage, that bronzy colour, just totally different fish. They're different wherever you go.
As with every barramundi in the country, a mouth like a bucket. Very interesting too, like these eyes being so far up on the top of the head, it means that, you know, they spend a lot of time just looking up, and that's why they've got that design sort of head. It's made to sit and look up. They don't spend so much time head down. And when they are, it's probably not a good thing, is it?
No. You don't want him head down, you want him looking around.
Unhappy barramundi. All right, Johnny, your fish, mate.
Cheers,
you pick
mate.
him up. Show everyone.
He's a beauty. Nice, solid, standard Kinchant fish, that one. It's about what they sort of average. Nice, definitely bigger ones in here.
Man, you guys are so lucky to have this sort of stuff.
It is.
Down home, we've got nice, solid garfish. Pop him back.
He swam away nicely.
As you can see behind us here, there's extensive lily pads, and this is just big, lush weed beds that run all through here. But in amongst the weed beds, there's little pockets and gutters and stuff, and the barra will travel and feed through all those areas. And the boys are working their lures all along the edge of that shallow stuff. However, the weed bed extends right out through here, and although you might not be able to see it, again, there's stands of weed and pockets where there's gaps and little channels. So I'm actually just fishing the open water, just casting blind through here, because the barra basically will sit anywhere between there and out there. And rather than having three of us put all our effort into one small area, it's worth me just working this area out here. And Dan tells me this is where he's caught 3 of his biggest barramundi. Yep, got it. Just as Dan said, working out into that deeper water. And that's where this fish came from. There's a little bit of structural on the bank there, but Dan said, Lee, it's that drop that they'll sit along, and it has literally taken half a dozen casts to get this fish on. This is so good. These boys are so lucky to live up here and be able to do this stuff. I mean, we've got great fishing down home, but there's something pretty special about barramundi. I suppose, Dan, you can cast for them, you can troll them, you can do...
You can catch them from your kayak, you can catch them from your boat, you can catch them from the bank.
It's too good.
He's a nice fish.
Johnny's just trying to pick some weed off, and it's good fishing with these boys. You know, you're fishing with guys who, they do this almost for a living. Not really, they have day-to-day jobs like we all do, but you know, they keep everything calm. There's no panicking. He's really got me in the weed there, boys. Really got me in the weed.
Just take it easy. He'll come up.
Will he?
Yeah. Just pull on him a little bit and see what happens. Don't go hard all at once. He does have you good in there. Yeah, he's still there. There he goes, pop. He's popped.
Just trying to
He's coming. You'll get the whole
sort
clump
of
here.
slide him out.
I'll just electric slightly over.
There he
There
is.
he is. He's come free.
He's not that big. He's just got a bit of sting about him. He's just got him hooked too. It's all about keeping calm, no panicking. It's hard not to panic when you've got a fish of this size, but you know, it's how you land them. Do you find some days you get a lot of, like a swipe bite and a lot of outside of the face hookups, and then other days they're just engulfing
Yeah, that's
them?
exactly right. Depending on their behaviour on the day, whatever the cause be. Sometimes
Obviously, if they're
swiping,
really hungry and they're really on the chew, they just
nail it right down there, and almost every bite you get a hook up.
Yep.
Whereas a couple of swipes and then jam him in the head.
Oh. That's the go.
There we go. I'll take it at any size, I don't mind. Barramundi are Barramundi and they're all good.
That's right.
There we go, get that out of the way. And that, let me tell you, is about as much fun as you can have before breakfast.
That's awesome, Lee.
Not even a big one. How long do you reckon that'd be, guys?
I reckon it'll be 75 centimetres.
That is pretty awesome. And these boys say that's not big, but you know, for a boy coming up from Melbourne, I am more than happy to catch them all day long.
So are we.
He's off. All right, mate, what's the go here? We've made a short move, and I suppose that's the bonus to Kinchant. It's only small.
That's it, mate. It's only a small move. It's just basically around the corner, and we've come into this little tiny bay now, and with the wind in the afternoons blowing from the southerly, it'll actually push into this little bay.
Okay.
So we're just going to sort of anchor ourselves onto the weed here and cast out into the deep.
Okay, and for the person looking normally, you would go, that's just a barren grass bank.
Yeah, that's right. But out here, we've got a lily pad edge that tapers off into the deeper water, and basically the barrels will be sitting mid between that shallow water and the deep water, and we'll basically sit on the shallows and chuck out to the deep.
Sounds good.
Grecky's got one.
Got him? Got him?
Yep.
Nice one, mate.
It's on that subwalk.
I'll pull you out a bit there. Oh, it's a little rat, and he's playing up.
Probably lucky for Dan, really, because he'd freak out if he got a big one.
Yeah, he would. He's not used to it. Here he is. He's already here. He's already here, mate.
He's come to say hello.
He's just jammed that.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing too. Like, I was just literally tying a new lure on, and just looking over the side, there is just bait fish everywhere swimming around in here. So there is no question as to why these barramundis grow so big so fast.
Small fish has nailed a big lure.
That's it.
This fish probably only be around a year old.
Really?
Yeah.
And do they grow fast for the first few years and then slow down?
Yeah,
or?
yep. And that's why even when the fishing's tough, you can normally get a few small ones because they've basically got to keep eating
Yep.
to keep growing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfect food source. As I was saying, there's like, just here, swimming around, there's little tiny bait fish about this long. So when they put the fish in this big, straight away there's food for them. And then
Right.
you guys saying there's big bony brim in here too. So
That's right. It's pretty much the whole way up from little bait fish right through to 40 centimetre bonies.
well done, mate. Nice one.
Another good looking bronzy fish.
Yeah, beautiful little fish.
Look at him in that sun.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, mate. And at a year old. How long will they live in here for?
Some of them like 10, 15 years.
Wow.
No predators, that
No
sort
wonder
of
they
thing.
get so big.
Old age gets them.
That's crazy. And look at this, that's that sub walk. A lot of people go, oh, that's too big a lure. If it was a block of pilchards, you would say that's a decent sized pilchard. For a barramundi, that just goes down there, absolutely no problem at all. And in this part of the world, the bigger the food you eat, the bigger you grow, the faster you grow. That is why they eat this sort of stuff. Pop him back, mate.
Awesome. Let's get another one.
See you, mate.
Well done, dude. right here. We moved up onto this shallow bank as Dan was talking about with that nice drop. And it really is the place for subsurface stickbait style lures like this subwalk. The idea of it is it has no bib, no cup or anything on the face of it, and it's got these stabilizing keels on the end. They cast like a rocket, which is great because you cover a lot of distance. But best of all, they only run about a foot or so deep. And as you wind this through the water with a few just gentle twitches, it will just zigzag left and right, and it just looks like a wounded bait fish. Best of all, when you pause it, it just sort of sits and just doesn't really move at all. Doesn't sink much, doesn't float much, doesn't do anything. And it looks like a dying bait fish. It's on that pause that those barra just eat it. Very, very easy to fish in that zigzag swimming fashion. It stays above the weed and it catches you plenty of fish. Got it. Yeah, there he is. And Dan just said this is getting into the good area. The boys have still kept working that lily pad edge, and I've just been working the deep water, quite simply because there's no point three of us casting lures in exactly the same spot. He whacked that, taking a bit of line. I don't think he's very big, but
Calling for an 80, mate. I reckon he's 80 centimetres.
They're bigger than you think when they jump out so far.
Yeah. Oh, he's all right. He's all right. He'll do. He'll do. I'm happy with that. Wow, that bit of breeze picked up and we just moved around a point to get out of the wind a little bit. And almost straight away, I'm just wrapped, mate. There we go. He's still got a bit left in him.
How's the heart going, mate?
Mate, it's going. You know you're on a good species of fish. Like these boys catch thousands of barras a year, and every time they hook one or lose one or whatever, they're as excited as though it's their first.
That's exactly right. Pull hard every time.
Just doesn't want to quite give up. Oh yeah.
Well done.
Well done, Johnny.
Beautiful.
Thanks, mate. That's getting a bit better in size.
That's an awesome fish,
Mate, I'm wrapped. The thing I love about this stuff too, and I'm the first to admit I haven't done this sort of subsurface stickbait fishing for barras. It's quite easy.
It is easy.
It's an easy twitching style of fishing. You crank him up the front, mate. We'll get him out. You know, it's not taxing on the body. It's almost relaxing fishing till you get one on.
Well, that's just standard hooks on that subwalk. They come with pretty good hooks straight out of the packet, so that's a beautiful fish. You'd be getting high 80s now. It's a nice one.
I am absolutely
Grab onto that one, mate.
stoked with that.
Too easy.
This is too good. And best of all, you can all just come up here and do it. Like, it's not rocket science to come and fish these points and stretches. And is it fair to say if you cast enough, you'll get one?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
exactly right. In this dam, it's not a very big dam, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of the same stuff. You just got to find the area where the fish are in and keep casting.
That is too good, and that is why you come to these impoundments in Queensland.
Yep.
Oh, he's done you in the weeds.
No, he's not out, but I've got him coming. He's probably going to get hooked up in this block of weed.
Oh, dude, I've got the net.
Thank you, Lee.
Got him.
Ah,
Nice work, mate.
Cheers.
look at how golden these ones are.
You say that's not a big barra, but
He went hard, didn't he?
I'll tell you what, that is a really impressive looking fish. Very different looking barra to the other impoundment sort of barra.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen, guys.
right. These ones in the weed predominantly, so
Yep.
they get that sort of camouflage gold bronzy colour.
Yeah, okay. We are literally only a couple of 100 metres from the Kinchant Dam caravan park. That is absolutely crazy. And to catch a fish like that, and the boys get them bigger than this here as well. Is that about average for this dam?
Slightly bigger is probably average, but there seems to be deep in this weed a lot of fish this size.
Okay.
Like you can see, they still go hard and get in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And it's all good fun.
A nice fish, probably high 60s.
Well done, mate. Chuck him back and let's get another one.
Sounds good.
This is what makes these joints so good. This angler over here is in his kayak, and he's got himself a really nice barramundi on, so we thought we'd just come up and lend some moral support. Oh, nice one. Nice one. We'll get mine out the way. There we go. That's out.
Spat it. Oh.
Typical with these fish, isn't it? You got to go hard and they jump.
Bad luck, mate.
Oh, that was on the subwalk.
Next one, buddy.
Oh, he's opened
Straighten
that
out a
hook
hook.
up. That is what Barra do.
Just go too hard on them. Jumping, trying to keep them out of the weed, and they pull the hooks and straighten them.
Bad luck, mate. What we're doing here is fishing the edge of the lake, and it's a very, very flat section of the lake. There's all lily pads and there's big stands of weed that come right out here. And it's pretty much an area that, guys, would it be fair to say most people don't fish these areas?
Yeah, they come into the bays, but probably don't come in far enough.
Yes.
So even though people have fished here before us, we can sort of pick away at fish that they've missed because they're not working as thorough and as far back as we are.
And it's pretty much a simple case. You're going to be limited to the amount of lures you can use. We're using subsurface stick baits that just run a couple of inches deep and suspend. I suppose you'd use surface lures as well?
Yeah, surface lures, those sorts of things that you can rip out of the weed or just on top.
Yeah, beautiful. So next time you're up on an impoundment and you see some of these shallow baits, don't think that they're too shallow to hold fish, because the Barra love to get in here because they're nice and warm and they hold lots of food. I love coming away fishing with guys who know what they're doing, because you learn so much if you're willing to just absorb those little bits of information. And one thing I have already learnt right here at Kinchant Dam, his water is never ever too shallow for barramundi. John hooked a fish before and I swear to God it was in about that much water. You wouldn't have thought there was a fish there, but there was weed, there was a lily pad, and that gave him just enough cover to hide and just enough room for John to get his lure in there and hook up. Oh, nice one, mate.
Dump me in the weeds straight away. Might have to get me in there, John.
Yep.
It's behaving.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, good, mate.
Over this side, out the left here.
Small or big or?
Oh, he's not bad.
You right, dude?
Yeah, mate. He's got this fish up in those pads. He's tied up in there.
And there's a few fish there. We've had fish rolling on lures and just touching lures, and Dan said we've got to pass back through this little pocket one more time.
I think that was my actually last cast for the day.
Nice work, mate.
You got an audience there, you reckon?
Got an audience? He's like an American.
I reckon, mate, it is pretty awesome when you can catch a fish like that in an impoundment, freshwater lake, and that's the caravan park there, and the boat ramp's about 100 metres that way.
That's our camp right there.
It is, the 2 cars. It's pretty good. Well done, mate. That's a cracking fish.
Yeah, that's another nice one, about 75.
Well done, mate. Well done.
It's a nice fish, buddy.
Persistence paid off, and that is an absolutely beautiful Kinchant Dam barramundi. I thank you boys so much, because to come and fish this lake's been awesome. It's a small lake as far as the boys say they go, but like I said, to catch them that far from our camp is pretty awesome.
Solid fish too. They've just been feeding up on brony brim, living in the weed. They got the life.
They do. Just quickly, how old do you reckon that fish is?
I'd say probably 2 years max.
Really?
Yeah, they grow pretty quick.
Awesome growth rate. Queensland do a great job of breeding some of the biggest barra in the country, mate. Pop him back. I think we've got dinner to cook.
Sounds good.